This is for educational use only. Our group grants permission for our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardines, to use this as educational material.
Good day everyone, let's have a brief introduction. Imagine waking up one day and everything you own is gone. Your phone, your clothes, and even your favorite things. Who would you be without them? In today's world, many of us define ourselves through what we have. From the brands we have wear to the gadgets we have used, our profession often become a part of our identity. And our topic for today is a material or economic self. With the idea I shop therefore I am, I have therefore I am. Before we begin, let me first present our learning objectives. First, explore the different aspects of self and identity. Second, examine oneself against the different aspects of self discussed in class. Third, demonstrate critical reflective through integrating the various aspects of the self and identity. In this presentation, we will explore what material self is, examine ourselves through different perspectives, and reflect on how media and consumers' culture shape our identity.
Material self. The material self refers to the physical things that we consider part of who we are. According to William James, the self is not just our mind or our personality. It can also include everything we can call ours. This means our belongings are not just objects. They become extensions of ourselves. For example, the phone you use or the way you dress may reflect your personality, your status, and your values. And because of this, what we own can influence how we see ourselves and how others see us.
So I'm gonna talk about the components of material self. So the material self is made up of three main components. And the first is the body, which includes our physical appearance. The way we look, dress, and present ourselves affects how we feel about our identity. And the second is our possessions, such as clothes, gadgets, money, and other personal belongings. This often reflects our lifestyle and preference. And the third is social extensions, like our home, family, and even the groups we belong to. This also contributes to our sense of self. For example, owning a certain phone or wearing a certain clothes can make someone feel more confident or socially accepted. This shows that the material self is deeply connected to everyday life.
Good afternoon everyone, I'm Mark Alex B. Camoro. I'm going to tackle about I have therefore I am, plus personal. The idea I have therefore I am suggests that people often define themselves based on what they own. In a consumer-driven world, possession can become a way to measure success, status, or even self-worth. Personally, I have noticed that I feel more confident when I wear clothes that I think look good or are considered trendy. There are also times when I compare what I have with others, especially on social media. This made me realize that sometimes my sense of self is influenced by external things, not just who truly I am, and I think many of you can relate to that. Thank you.
Good day. Our tackle about the consumer culture. Consumer culture is a system where people are encouraged to continuously buy and own more things. In today's society, there is often unspoken belief that having more means being more successful, more attractive, or even more valuable as a person. Because of this mindset, people may feel the need to constantly upgrade whether it's their phone, clothes, or lifestyle, not always because they need to, but because they feel pressure to keep up. For example, when a new product is released, many people immediately want it even if their current one still works perfectly fine. This shows that consumer culture shape not only our buying habits, but also how we measure our self-worth. In some cases, we begin to find ourselves based on what we own rather than who we truly are. That's all. Thank you.
Our topic today is all about media influence. So, alongside consumer culture, media plays a powerful role in influencing our decisions and our identity. Through advertisement, influencers and social media platforms were constantly exposed to image of what a perfect life should look like. This image often show expensive items, ideal lifestyles, and certain standards of beauty and can make people feel the need to match those expectations. For example, trends on platforms like TikTok or Instagrams can quickly influence people to buy something simply because it's popular and the moment. Because of this, many of us start to compare ourselves to others online, sometimes feeling like we are not enough. This shows that media does not just influence what we buy, it also shapes how we see ourselves and our value as individuals. That is why it is important to be aware of this influence and not let them fully define our identity.
From a philosophical perspective, the question is, what truly defines the self? So, if we remove all material things, do we remain the same person? This suggests that our true identity might go beyond what we own. From a sociological perspective, society plays a big role in shaping identity. People are often judged based on their appearance, positions, and status. For example, owning expensive items may lead others to see someone as a successful or important. This shows that society influences how we define ourselves and how others define us.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brent Kisler A. Biret. I will tackle about the anthropological plus psychological. From anthropological perspective, culture influences what people value. In some cultures, success is measured through wealth and material possessions. In others, simplicity and relationship are more important. This means that the material self is not the same for everyone. It depends on cultural beliefs. From a psychological perspective, our positions can affect our self-esteem. Having certain things can make us feel confident, but relying too much on them can also lead to insecurity. When we depend on material things for happiness, our sense of self can become unstable. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'll talk about Western versus Eastern plus sexual self. In Western thought, identity is often linked to individual success and material achievement. In contrast, Eastern thought tends to focus more on inner peace, balance, and simplicity rather than material wealth. This shows that often different perspectives offer different ways of understanding the self. The material self also connects to the sexual self, particularly in terms of appearance and body image. Media consumer culture often promote certain beauty standards, influencing how people view their bodies. As a result, many people feel pressure to look a certain way in order to feel accepted.
So, after exploring the material self, we realize that many of us are influenced by what we own more than what we think. We sometimes compare ourselves to others, feel pressure to keep up with trends, and associate our worth with possessions. While material things can help express who we are, they should not define our entire identity. When we depend too much on them, our sense of self can become fragile and easily affected by change. In the end, we believe that identity should come from within, not just from what we have. Because at the end of the day, we may own things, but those things should never define who we truly are.